I met a gypsy.
So that's probably a good segue into the NASCAR stuff. I mean, when you first got the call from Trackhouse to go to Chicago, like, where was your head at, and what were your expectations? Like, were you at all wanting to leave Supercars, or initially where was it at before you did that race?
No, so I think it was March at the Grand Prix, or the week after the Grand Prix, where I signed, and knew I was finally going to do the race. We spoke the year before about potentially doing it, and then but yeah, I just wanted to go and do the race on an off weekend to go and race something. And yeah, but when we got there, Jess came over with me. We went to Nashville the weekend before, and just got to look at the event and how it all worked, and it was just eye-opening, the level that the teams are at, but how simple everything is. Like, we could walk onto the pit wall and like be a meter or two away from guys doing a pit stop and just watch it. And then, when we were leaving, we walked up to the back straight and just stood right beside the track on the back straight wall, and it was pretty awesome to see. And then just seeing how the way it all works there, and the repetition of the races, and how fun it is. Like, the outlook on racing in America is very different, but when the helmet goes on and it's race time, it's super serious. But yeah, everything else, all the pre-race stuff is crazy, how the entertainment and the show they put on. And yeah, I remembered that from GT stuff. Like, the GT stuff in America was always so much fun, and then the racing was hardcore. But yeah, just the way the American mentality is and mindset on racing, it's very different to what we have down here, and both are good. But it was pretty refreshing going over there, and then obviously winning the race was above what I thought I'd ever achieve. I didn't have any expectations. Obviously hoped to do well and put on a good show. I knew I'd be good because it's a similar car, but they've never ever done a street circuit before, whereas that's what we do all the time here. So I knew I'd be okay, but where I fit in, I had no idea. So yeah, obviously winning the race and the exposure and stuff from that was insane. And then the talks about doing an oval, doing another race, which turned out to be Indy. And I was like, man, maybe I just need to come and do this. And it was a bit weird because I had signed a contract again with Red Bull for one more year at least, and or Triple Eight, sorry. And then yeah, I was just like, the more we thought about it, I think it was probably a good chance to go and do something else and try and expand.
I mean, it was so cool just to watch the success of the race. So like, you go there and you win the race, obviously, but it was almost what happened after was so cool. Like, I mean, the American fans just loved you. Like, the video of the heel toe going viral, and you just seem like such a breath of fresh air in the NASCAR scene, and everyone welcomed you with open arms. And then to get to go to Indy, and we were cruising around at Indy with you, and just seeing the way that the fans interacted, and then all of the team personnel. And you're right, man, like, there was a really, really cool vibe, and I think that was almost as exciting as that first race win, is like just how well received it was. Like, a lot of people, you could go into a series and people just be like, nah, we don't really want you here. But there was such a welcoming vibe that that was cool to see in itself.
Yeah, and I guess like the team mentality is very different with Trackhouse. How the atmosphere they put on, the leadership from Justin is very different to any other team I've ever been a part of. But I think just more like the media side, and the way that the team said about how it's going to work, how Project 91 is, I just felt like I could be myself, and just be open about everything. Whereas here, like, you get judged for everything. Like, you qualify 12th, it's a headline. You say something, and it becomes a headline on Speed Cafe or whatever, which is cool. They're just doing their thing. But and there's probably things in this thing that we're doing here that people will take out and make headlines of. But you just have to be always thinking about what you're saying and say the right thing, because you get judged so harshly here. And
Yeah.
Everyone's willing to knock you down or spin the negative of everything. Whereas over there, it just seems like a little bit different mentality. You can say what you want, and every week there's so many stories that come out of a NASCAR weekend, but it's a mix of everything, good, bad, indifferent. If it's a shit race, they say that and try and fix it. Whereas if it's a good race, they just spin all the good stories. Whereas here, there's just a lot of negativity and trying to find that soundbite just to get the clicks. And so you're always scared of that. Whereas over there, I just felt like, I could be myself, and I think people saw that, and the response I got from people was awesome from all the fans and everything.
Yeah, and it's so true, man. It is such a shame the way that I guess it is at home, because it's like I just don't think, and we've spoke about it a million times, but it's like I just don't think that the media understands that you can be cool. Just be cool. And you, like, they're the same people that will complain that you will give them nothing on a race. Like, people will be like, oh, how could you ever get Giz to do the podcast? He hates doing it. I'm like, well, I don't know that he hates talking. I think he just hates you guys, you know? It's like, it seems like a very simple message that those guys could listen to. It's like, hey, just be cool. Like, we don't need to make shit out of literally everything. And it's like, there's so many cool stories, and these guys are really cool people, but everyone's too scared to do anything now. And I bet you see it in a lot of different sports, but I think you're right. Like in NASCAR, they seem to have found a certain balance when it comes to that, and you know, you can, I guess, see the response that people had.
Yeah, it's definitely different, and I think F1's the same as well. Like they have, you know, they obviously have a few bad races that are snoozers, but there's always a story every week, and they always find some good out of it to keep building it up. So hopefully that can start happening here. Yeah,
can translate. So then you do the race at Indy. I don't think many people know how sick you were. Is that like something you just didn't really talk about, or like is that because we can cut it out of this if it's not something you wanted to talk about?
I don't know. Yeah, I was pretty sick that morning. Like, I don't know why.
Really sick.
Yeah, I woke up real bad and couldn't drink anything. I think I woke up at 4 and just started spewing and didn't feel really good, and thought, we need to put the media stuff off. And they said, we kind of need to do it. So tried to go to the track, but I couldn't handle my breakfast. Tried to have a coffee, and that come straight back up. And then just went to the medical center and got a bit of help there, which from the medical stuff, which was good. And I was able to do the race, but certainly wasn't at my best. But I don't know how much better I would have been if I was 100%. But I was pretty drained. I don't know. I don't think it was the best place we all went for dinner the night before, but I was pretty sick.
We're excited to announce the launch of our new membership site, gypsytales.com, packed with exclusive content and perks that you won't find anywhere else. This is your chance to become a part of the Gypsy Gang. And as a special bonus, if you sign up to an annual membership, you'll be entered into the draw to win our custom-built TC125. Gypsy Gang.